Hello YouTube friends. You can see, can't you, what I went with? I looked at all the sashing information that you gave me, some really well thought through ideas about sashing. And then I decided, and it was to do with the fact that the baseboard of my design board is white. I kept looking at it and thinking how smart it looked. So I went to the shop that I mentioned last time, First for Fabrics. I went on Friday after pottery to see if they had some polka dot fabric, because that's what I really wanted. I wanted white background with a red polka dot on it. Well, they didn't have any, but that's a shame, never mind. What I got instead, and I'm not sure you're going to even be able to see this, but I got, you can't see it, can you? This is white with a white polka dot. Yeah, there you go. If I just get the light on it like so. White with a white polka dot. So all the sashing here then, it's I cut it at 2 inches, so it finishes at 1.5 inches, is all this white with white polka dots. And then while I was at First for Fabrics, I bought this, which is a lovely cerise pink with a white polka dot. And I cut a few and tried them. They don't look right, because I wonder if you can see this. The pink against it here. It was the wrong colour pink. It just leapt out as if it was the main feature of the quilt. So I've got this bit of pink now. It'll come in for something else. But I used red. This is a sort of, it looks orangey on the screen. It's very red, I have to say. This is what I'm going to use for the backing. So I used red cornerstones, and they finish at 1.5 inches. So that's, you know, they were 2 inches. It finished at 1.5 inches. White, spotty, sashing fabric, and there it is, done, sewn round the 4 patches that I sewed together. Now, so the squares are 7 finished, the sashing is 1.5 inches finished, there's 8 7-inch squares and 9 bits of sashing. However, looking at it, it's square because it's 8 by 8. And I really like square things. I really like them. However, I don't think this is looks great square. So I made a load more base blocks here. And today, just now, I'm going to sit and sew one more run. So it'll be 8 by 9. I'll see what that looks like. And it maybe I've got enough fabric to make it 8 by 10 if it needs to be. But I'll work the maths out, and I'll maybe superimpose a number here when I've worked all that out. It's basically 8.5 by 8, 68 inches square, something like that. So that's what I'm going to do today then, is make it not square, make it rectangular, and see if I've got enough sashing fabric. I've got more than enough of the base block pieces to do. I sewed a few of these together the other night while I was watching. I'll tell you what I've been watching the whole time I've been doing this. because I always kind of like to watch the same kind of thing. I'm a bit of a binge watcher of things. And so shall I tell you what I was binge watching while I was making this? There's a series, an American TV, NBC I think it is, series, which is a modern Sherlock Holmes, you'll know it, with Johnny Lee Miller as Sherlock and Lucy Liu as Joan Watson, a female Joan Watson. Now, I am a big fan of Sherlock Holmes, have been since I was a little girl, reading the stories, and then some of this is historic interpretations of Sherlock Holmes, and I've watched loads of them. However, none of them beat this one with, it's called Elementary, you'll know it, Elementary, with Johnny Lee Miller as Sherlock, and they work for the New York Police Department, and I think there are 7 seasons. I've got 6 of them on DVD. Well, I'll just watch my way through all of them. Sad, isn't it? But I really like them. I like all the characters very much. I think they're all incredibly well drawn, and the writing's exceptionally good. So if ever you go to my Instagram, you'll see on my Instagram stories across the top of the page lots and lots of my favourite bits of Johnny Lee Miller being Sherlock. Anyway, this quilt then is all Elementary. So I've got a few episodes left, and I'm going to stick them on now and finish up with one last run of sashing. I've got loads of this 2-inch white spotty stuff here, so I'm going to get on and do that. We'll sew the final thing together, and then we're going to think about how we're going to quilt this. As I told you, I think if you watched the last one, or one where I spoke about the quilting, I don't do machine quilting. I've got a small machine, and I won't wrestle with a massive quilt underneath the needle, trying to get half of the quilt through the throat of the machine. I just won't do it. It's not fun. It's not rewarding. It doesn't come out right, even with a presser foot, even with a walking foot, it doesn't come out right. So I maybe sew cushions or small baby quilts, but definitely nothing as big as this. So I'm going to research some long arm quilting. But apparently there's somebody local to me, by which I mean she's only about 50 miles away, I think. So I've sent an email and I haven't had a reply yet. So I'm going to see what comes of that. Because I was thinking that to machine quilt this, I've got an idea about how it would look good in straight lines. You can see what I'm doing. Backwards and forwards, like a checkerboard. I don't know if that's possible, but I think it would look fantastic. And so we'll get back to you when I talk about the quilting. But for now, I'm going to finish some more blocks on this. So all you, I'll sit to one side, all you people who gave opinions, do you think it looks okay? I do. I think it looks okay. I really do. Let's just move my drink out of the way, and I'll tip you around a little bit so you can see the full extent of it. There it is there, and then all the way over to the other side here, all the way down there, below the table, and all the way up there. So it's a big, and another run. It's a big quilt. It's a big quilt. I think it looks well. So thanks for your sashing suggestion, and I'm sorry if I didn't use them, but at the end of the day you have to make a choice, and the choice made itself really. Once I decided on spotty for this, then that was it, spotty it was. But then when I got there and there was no spotty and I just got white spotty, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. So I'm going to get on and do a bit of that quilting now. You've seen me doing it, so I won't film it. It's just the same as in the ASMR video and in the other videos. So I'll quilt that and I'll get back to you when I've done it. I'm going to spend a happy morning. I'm going to put Elementary on. I'm on season 6 and watch a bit more Johnny Lee Miller, being my favourite detective.